I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this man right here. This is Avion Foster, and he is the man who has alleged that he had a sexual relationship with Wendy Williams' husband, Kevin Hunter. Um, a lot of people tuned in to his interview. I think it was pretty damn good, pretty damn juicy. I can't deny that. I also was pretty skeptical about what he was saying at first because it just seems like he was putting a little too much sauce on the story and he was just a little too hyped up for me to really believe in everything he was saying. Although I did have to say at some point I did start to believe him. And it speak mostly because I felt like, what man do you know is going to come out publicly next to his wife, no doubt, and allege that he had a relationship with another man? Unless he's just, if he gay, okay. But I don't know what to make of him. I don't really know what he is. So I was inclined to believe him simply because I just don't know any man ever that would do that. And also the details that he was giving out. I don't think any man would admit to that. Not a one that I know anyway. But all that being said, I don't respect what he did. I absolutely have no respect for what he did by putting that out there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Hunter is a piece of crap. I always thought he was a piece of crap. I have heard about him for years as far as him being a bully to the staff around Wendy's show. I didn't know all this information about Sharina until TK put it out early, I think it was either 2018 or 2017, but it's been a while. She has been talking about Wendy's business for a minute. So this is nothing new to me as far as Sharina. So I don't have any respect for Kevin Hunter. Never have. But what Avion Foster did to me, I didn't care for that either. And let me explain why. I cannot stand this culture of exposing people's sexuality. I cannot stand it. We've seen it far too many times. I have seen it with Bobby Valentino when he got outed. A lot of people thought that was funny. Young Buck was outed by somebody. It goes on and on. Sydney Starr, some of you just know her from Love and Hip Hop, but Sydney Starr been around for a minute because she comes from my hometown. She outed Chingy, and Chingy's career has never been the same. It took a really bad hit when she pretty much alluded to the fact that her and Chingy had hung out a few times or something. It goes on and on. The list goes on and on and on. And I have to, like I said, I just don't respect that. I don't respect when somebody outs somebody in that manner. Because I asked myself with Avion, if Kevin Hunter had paid that man his money and he didn't have any problems with him, he paid him, his career took off and all this other stuff, you probably wouldn't have never heard a thing about Kevin Hunter sleeping with him. He wouldn't have come out and talked about it. And that's just my personal opinion. As long as he was kept happy, he wouldn't have spoke on it. Even though he was sleeping with another woman's husband. He would have been, that's why I'm saying I don't respect what he did, because he didn't do this for Wendy. He didn't do this to help her. I mean, technically it probably will help her if it's proved that he in fact did have some kind of relationship with her husband. It only makes Wendy's divorce case even stronger, right? But he didn't do it for her. He did it for himself. Like all these people who expose other people, they do it for their own selfish gain, right? Whether it's just a little bit of notoriety, whether it's some more followers on social media, because you know how social media has become a drug for a lot of people. Whether it's just like getting just a little bit of fame, 15 minutes of it. People will do anything for a little bit of fame and some followers. And that's how I felt like Avion Foster did. Now, I could have respected it a little bit more had there been nothing like going on and he just randomly said it just because. He just kind of jumped on the whole Wendy Williams bandwagon. He just did. Like a lot of people do. Look at what the Me Too movement did. When the Me Too movement came out, whether and I already got my problems about the Me Too movement. But when the Me Too movement started popping off, everybody started jumping out the woodwork saying this happened to them, this happened to him. And I'm not saying that it didn't. I'm not saying that. That's not my argument here. I'm saying that people have a tendency to jump on a bandwagon because for whatever reason, they want to be heard, they want some attention, and I don't necessarily respect that, because why didn't you say anything before? Why didn't he say anything before? Well, because he saw the momentum gaining and he saw a platform, a huge platform at that, and he wanted to make himself known. Think about it. If somebody just wanted to tell their story and they had nothing to gain from it, why do people always give you their IG or their Twitter? Because they want you to follow them. They want you to check out what they're doing. They're hoping to gain something out of this. But when I look at Avion Foster, do you honestly think now that he has told this story about how this man allegedly came over in the middle of the night, after he finished using the bathroom and he bent him over? I mean, that's all I'm going to remember about this man. I'm not going to think about the fact that he has a beautiful singing voice, that he's extremely talented. Every time I look at this man's face, I can't think about singer. I think about everything else but the fact that he's a singer. And so what did he gain exactly by coming out and exposing Kevin Hunter? What do any people gain by coming out and exposing somebody else? Dwight Howard got outed months ago by this guy that he was allegedly seeing. The man said that they were seeing each other. He outed Dwight Howard. Again, what's the point of that? If these people don't want to come out of the closet, you shouldn't go pushing them out like that. That's how I feel. And furthermore, why would you weaponize your sexuality? Now, women do it too, to men, but it seems to be a pattern for a lot of different people in the LGBT community. And I don't want to paint that picture that everybody does it, because that's absolutely not true. I don't believe that. But it seems time and time again, there's a person, like maybe in the transgender community, that's outing somebody. And that's not right. Don't weaponize your sexuality. The last thing you want to do is to put that kind of weaponization on yourself. People already are brutal and cruel when it comes to who you are. Why would you do that? Now, that doesn't necessarily apply to Avion Foster, but don't you see it like this? The way I see it, he is weaponizing his bisexuality. He's using it as a weapon against Kevin Hunter. Like, see, he's down low. See, he's gay. See, that's not right. It's not right no matter who it is. I don't like it when side chicks expose men. I don't like that. I just don't like exposure. I don't like when people expose other people. I always feel that what's ever in the dark will come to light. It definitely will. But most of the time, exposure happens because one person is mad at another person. Because if everything was all good and everything was copacetic and everybody was cool, in love, whatever, you wouldn't say a word. If the money was flowing and there was no issues on that, you wouldn't say a word, not one word. And that's how I feel about Avion Foster. I just feel like he didn't do this in a genuine way. He got his story out, and the way, people are today, it's just like things come and they go. People will pretty much forget about him really, really quickly. It'll come in and it go. And unfortunately, every time they look at him, they won't think about the fact that, again, this man has a beautiful singing voice. I will always think about the fact that he banged Wendy's husband. That's all I'll think about when I see him. And that's unfortunate. But I guess that's the price that people are willing to pay for a little bit of fame. And What did he gain out of it? What did he gain? What do any of them gain? Maybe, like I said, maybe a little notoriety, but in my opinion, they gain very little respect. They do. They absolutely gain very little respect. So I just think, if you down low like that, you seeing somebody like that, just honestly, just be mindful of when you decide that you want to put out somebody's business and you feel like you want to expose them, because you don't know how that shit could backfire on you. That could absolutely backfire on you, and somebody could come back swinging. They absolutely could. Don't out people. That's not cool in my book. I don't find that cool. Don't put people out there. Let them come out when they're ready, but don't do it on their behalf, because you don't know how people will react. And I just don't respect that kind of shit. Sorry.